That is important to understand how Shaytan gets to us. Of course, the main tactic of Shaytan is waswasa, and that is to whisper the waswasa of Shaytan. It is to implant in our hearts an idea that should not be there. This is a very, very evil tactic. Think about it. Our hearts are pure. We don't want to disobey Allah. Our hearts have been created to worship Allah. We want to pray. We want to enjoy religiosity. But Shaytan comes and he throws something into our hearts and he causes us to think about something we never thought about doing. He continues to persist in trying to push us to commit a sin. How evil is that we won't even want to commit the sin. This is generally the case, my dear brothers and sisters, when an evil thought comes and the thought even surprises us. Where did that come from? How am I thinking this? Are you Jubal? You yourself are disgusted by what you think you are thinking, but you think you are thinking it. It is not you who is thinking, it is Shaytan who threw it into you. That is why the existence of Shaytan actually makes us realize that alhamdulillah, our hearts, inshallah, generally they're pure, and so we blame Shaytan for the bulk of our evil. Isn't this a wisdom from Allah? When Yusuf Ali was a lamb, what happened, and he was saved at the end. What did he saw? It was Shaytan who caused my brothers to do what they did. What a beautiful wisdom. Ibn Aliyah mentions this, that we blame Shaytan for the evil. It's not my brother who did this, Shaytan caused him to do it. What a beautiful tactic that you blame Shaytan because he's worthy of being blamed. He's the one who did it. Then your anger is not at your Muslim brother. Your anger is not at somebody who did something. It's at Shaytan who whispered them, who did the waswasa, and so because of that your hearts can be pure towards your Muslim brothers and sisters, and you can blame Shaytan. Oh, Shaytan caused them to say that. Shaytan caused them to slip. Shaytan caused them to backbite. They wouldn't do it otherwise. In fact, most of the time this is the case. That is why it is of the greatest wisdoms of Shonaf, the existence of Shaytan, that we blame him for the evil and not mankind. Of course, of the tactics of Shaytan, which really is shown in our current situation in the world today. Look at the global situation. Look, the domestic situation of the most deadly tactics of Shon is to break up the Muslim Ummah and to cause disunity. Shon causes them to break up. Shon causes disunity. Our Prophet Saul al-Wasam said that unity is from Allah and or is from when Allah is mu. He brings hearts together. Unity comes from Allah Subhanahu Washington Ta'ala, and it is Shaytan who breaks people up. This is of his most dangerous tactics, because as our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, that the wolf only attacks the lone sheep when there's a group of sheep. The wolf does not attack. The reference here is to us being broken up, and we see the current situation without getting into the politics, but you know what is going on across the world. I'm not speaking of any one area. I'm speaking of the entire Ummah. How much we've been divided. Muslims here. Muslims, they're an artificial, imaginary boundary. Because of this they are at war. Because of this, what is happening in reality, Shaytan is rebelling. Allah is the one who combines. Shaytan is the one who breaks up. Of the most important ways to protect ourselves from Shaytan is to develop ikhlas in our hearts, to develop sincerity in our hearts. The single most effective tool to protect ourselves from Shaytan is to have sincerity. We develop sincerity by continually doing acts of worship away from the eyes of men. Quran, zikr, salah, charity, and nobody sees other than Allah. Sincerity is developed in the Quran. Shaytan himself says that I'm going to cause all of them to go astray except for your servants who have ease. Do this. Allah removes Shaytan from your brain.